So of course we put Russian flags up, like as a support that we want to be friends with Russia. We want to have a relationship, economic relationship with Russia. With Russia, that's it. So we seen Russian flags. So of course, if the right sector would come to Horlovka, and if they would see a Russian flag up, they wouldn't try to figure out what's going on. Well, maybe now, if you don't mind, 2014, you personally, well, 2013 going into 2014, do you personally remember where you were and how you were living through the first moments of Maidan? Well, I was in a factory, Tyrol factory, and well, I worked as security. There was different departments. We worked as a technician. You know, like alarms I used to set up and different barriers and maybe help with the computer. Security stuff. So we also had other security services, but we never interacted. So there was different. So in our department, we had a supervisor that from morning to night, even before 2013, even before Maidan, we had 2 5-minute breaks. So in the morning, we would discuss what would we do for the day, and for the night, in 5 minutes, we would discuss what would we do for tomorrow. So we would write everything down, and the supervisor is a cool guy. So when things started happening on Maidan, we didn't now have 5-minute breaks, we had 10-minute breaks. And we would discuss what we would need to do. And then for 5 minutes, we would discuss what was going on Maidan. So they would ask who wanted to go to Anti Maidan or who wanted to go to Kiev. But we kept working as we did before. But people asked, if you wanted to, there are buses going to Anti Maidan. So my supervisor, as far as I remember, he said, no problem. Listen, I won't hold anyone if you want to go somewhere. It's your position, but we need to work. So we decided that they can jump on Maidan, but we're going to keep working for the good of the nation to bring to the budget of the country taxes, do what we can. So there you go. We discussed it. We observed all these, live news. There was everyone was running around on Maidan with phones recording. So we seen these videos, but we were working. Well, by the way, it was important that you noticed that there were people on Maidan jumping around, but you guys kept working for the good of the country. I think it's very important that we notice that you, like the residents of Donbass, amongst each other, did you discuss that something might happen from all of this, or did you think, oh, let him jump on Maidan, nothing will happen? Well, there was different rumors. I didn't believe that there would be a civil war. Personally, I didn't believe until the last minute that the Yanukovych, the guarantor of the Constitution, that he would just get overthrown. I voted for him, so I didn't believe in it. But people were talking about different things, different rumors. There was different discussions, and so people talked about different things. But were people getting ready for something, or did people think, "Oh, this will just blow over like 2014"? Well, yeah, we had an experience in Ukraine. So if we would talk from the perspective of Orlivka, we didn't have no barricades or nothing. So all of that started when forces started to try to keep us quiet. So there was anti-Maidan. So there was Maidan and anti-Maidan. So in some regions, Maidan was more in some regions, and in other regions, anti-Maidans was more prevalent. There was more people, against the Maidan, basically, which what we would call anti-Maidan. So it's logical. So I wanted to come to that moment with you when everyone already found out that Yanukovych was overthrown, and he went to Kharkiv or Crimea, something like that. When you found out that he's overthrown and Turchinov came, what was the reaction of Donbass residents in your circle of communication? Like your family, did you guys talk about it? Well, honestly, I don't remember the conversations that we had. I just didn't understand what's going to happen later. Like I seen that the president was overthrown, but then on the other hand, logically, he got overthrown, but it didn't happen the right way, legally. So maybe legally he's gonna come back, and maybe Russia will support. So because how I thought is that the Russian Federation will support the president because they supported him before because he had a friendship with Russia. So I was hoping that Yanukovych would come back, but maybe I thought Russia would interact, but I wasn't really, you know, hoping. I had some hopes, but then I found out that Russia physically couldn't do it. Well. Physically, Russia could have done it, but from speaking from the international law, Russia couldn't do it. So hope was gone. But our people was standing and fighting until the last minute and didn't let us get overthrown. Could you tell us about the first few minutes that you heard that a military force might go to Donbass? Yeah, I got what you're saying. I don't remember dates, but your memory. So first rumors, maybe someone came up to you and said, "Look, a military is approaching us." Well, on different city halls, we had meetings, and I remember, well, now with dates from my memory, they're not too clear. But I remember meetings happened, and people said that maybe someone was coming to Donbass. I don't remember where they took it from, but some was like a artillery car came or a tank or something like that. You mean into Hordivka? Yeah, yeah, like to Hordivka it came and people got scared, but then we figured out that it was of our own, one of our own. Like this old like tank or something. Yeah, but we heard rumors that something might be coming to Donbass. So we had people protecting the city halls. I remember people took over one of the one of the city halls, another like a town hall. But now that I remember the way it happened, we like people took. I never went to these storms, but there were people that went to these storms. But to take like a police station or you know it wouldn't there would always be casualties if you take it by storm, but no one really had weapons. People had sticks. So I remember some police station was taken over, but then people said go back and then throw some stones at this police station. They were just trying to make a scene. But a lot of the police took the side of the rebels. But they had a choice. You could leave Ukraine or, you know, because now the power is for the people, for the rebels. Because we don't answer to Kiev to now. So you can either leave to Ukraine or stay here. So a lot of police officers really surrendered um, weapons and left, but a lot of ones stayed. Well, the reason why I'm asking you because I was observing it really closely back then, and I don't know why now people don't talk about it because I specifically remember when the right sector little by little was moving towards Donbas. They were even running into people's houses and looking for something. And I don't get why now no one's talking about it because I was in America and I remember this when the right sector was doing this. Where you were at, did you guys have any rumors about the right sector that the right sector came into someone's house? Because I remember that we had videos. Well, there were a bunch of rumors because rumors are around always, but I'm a healthy minded person. So when you hear rumors, you have to divide them. And it depends on what kind of situation, but you need to divide the rumors, by 10. So yeah, we had rumors, but at that time we didn't have evidence that were like clear evidence. Well, we'll get there. And I understood that there couldn't be rumors without fire without smoke, basically. So this is very important. Well, I'll say this. There was an opportunity to check and go into the internet and check information. But back then, I didn't really understand how it worked. So before I started having my own blog, it was really interesting to me to check on some facts. So when I started to check facts, it took me a very long time. So it took me a long time to check facts, but now it's less and less time for me to check information because now I know how to check information. Back then, it seemed impossible to me because there was so many different sites and stuff. I just lived like a regular person. I should have been more interested, but it's my fault. But amongst people, maybe you can remember, did did you guys have fear that something will happen? Or maybe until end, you didn't believe that your country and your government would come with force to you. Well, yeah, of course we had fear. Because when we were observing Maidan, because what I said before, I couldn't check, but the right sector that you talked about, like running into the house, I don't really remember that. But what I know for certainty is what they did on Maidan, and they killed people on Maidan. So of course, I understood. Everyone understood that if they come here, because we had people put up Russian flags. And they started saying, well, Russia was here. We didn't put up Russian flags because Russia was here. Because if you look at the root of why Maidan started, because Yanukovych didn't want to sign the Euro agreement with the European Union. But on the other side, it was a trade agreement with Russia. And so Donbass wanted a trade relationship with Russia. So of course we put Russian flags up. Like as a support that we want to be friends with Russia. We want to have a relationship, economic relationship with Russia. With Russia, that's it. So we seen Russian flags. So of course, if the right sector would come to Horlovka, and if they would see a Russian flag up, they wouldn't try to figure out what's going on.